Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the final shows of the year here in 5SSW. We are back on the Reign Supreme Tour. It's already been another year. These months are going by fast. Doing a whole month in one stream is actually really convenient. It's very nice. I get through a lot. And yeah, it's time for the final shows of 2023. As we start the Reign Supreme Tour, we'll get through Tour Day 5, and then the final Tour Day in Reign Supreme will be the first shows of 2024. 2 years will be fully completed. I will, of course, do a pit stop in the middle to show you the year-end awards. I hope to God we win something. In terms of Reign Supreme this year, I know I promised it. I know I teased it for the last show. However, first off, I think we went with the right call by having Miwako Katsukawa, the greatest wrestler of all time, main event instead of Birds of Prey. However, this month, I will finally do it. The tag titles are main eventing the show as Birds of Prey take on High Fly Royalty in the rubber match. These two have been feuding for months now. They had a match 3 pay-per-views ago. Birds of Prey won. High Fly Royalty then beat them clean in the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. This is the rubber match for all the marbles and for the tag titles. Will Birds of Prey lose their tag titles right after getting them back? Maybe because they're such big names, I take the titles off of them quickly. But that was not the only title change we had, as Sei Akutagawa finally captures the All-Asian Championship for the first time in her career, beating Yu Hashimoto, who had a very, very good showing with the title. But it is Sei's time now. How will Apex recover from multiple instances of infighting? Fuyuko Higa promised to lay the law down starting on this tour, so we will see how that unfolds as we get into Tour Day number 1. And we are here for the first tour date in Reign Supreme. We're kicking off main eventing tonight with a preview match for the only match we have pre-booked. It's a 4v4 consisting of Birds of Prey along with Yu Hashimoto and the woman she lost her All-Asian Championship to, Sei Akutagawa, against the team of High Fly Royalty, who will be challenging Birds of Prey for their new tag team titles, alongside the former champions, Wrestling Passion. So that is our main event tonight. Of course, it's not a 5-star show without the 2 Young Lion matches at the beginning. 60 to kick things off. Maki Yoshifumi is actually, I've shit on her a lot, and she's a huge pain in the ass and costing a lot of money. But she's starting to give us decent ratings. So Maki Yoshifumi gets the victory, gets a 60, and Rika Rina defeat Ayano and Nozomi. 53 for this match. Rika and Rina, 60s for themselves, which is very good to see. First things first, the first non-Young Lion match we have is Apex's Monster Chitose and Kaori taking on Sakura Sada and Venomous, the team of Spider Isako and Nami Genda. Match went 13 minutes and 6 seconds, ended when Monster Ishimura hit Spider Isako with the running butt avalanche to get the victory. And then after the match, she is called out. She, as in Monster Ishimura, is called out by Maki Yoshifumi. If you remember, Monster Ishimura got the victory in that cross-stable tag team match we had on the last pay-per-view, and she pinned Maki Yoshifumi, who is very much not happy about that. She calls the entire tag match a fluke, a meaningless exhibition, and if they were ever to fight one-on-one, Monster Ishimura would not even be able to remotely keep up with her in the match. So yeah, just Maki Yoshifumi coming out essentially to just discredit Monster Ishimura as a competitor. 54 for that angle. Our next match has Megumi, Yuma, and Arisato, Icon Idol's Big 3, defeating the team of Chibi Violence and Kiyomi Mizuka. Match goes 12 minutes and 43 seconds. Arisato gets the victory, hitting the buzzsaw kick on Kiyomi Mizuka. 69 for the overall match. And going back once again, referring to the cross-stable tag match at the last pay-per-view. In the wake of that match, Shiori Japenja, who was on the losing team, got her girls Bulk and Blue, Connie and Kinye, to jump Megumi Nakajima as she was on the winning team. Very Shiori Geppetto antics there. And Megumi Nakajima is essentially like, Shiori, I know you're not wrestling tonight. I don't even know if you're in the building, but you will listen to me now, and you will hear that I am not done. I'm coming for you, and I've got backup. I've got Eri, I've got Yuma. The three biggest names, the three best competitors in Icon Idols are coming after you. I've brought backup. If you want a cheap shot, you can cheap shot, but it's only going to get you so far. We're not going to let you run away from that, from whatever that was. And, yeah, I've got the best backup anyone could ask for, pretty much. 63 for that angle. A 68 for our semi-main as we see green lockdowns at Tsuko Ariyoshi, Thea Davis, and Zofia Yankovic defeat. Yes, defeat Chicas Locas, Miwako, Maya, and Lady Lotus. The match goes 18 minutes and 33 seconds when Thea Davis pins Lady Lotus with the flying elbow drop. Maya with a 72, Atsuko with a 72, Miwako with a 69. Very good performance here. But yes, the champion gets the loss, and we essentially get a promo from Green Lockdown where, again, referring to the pay-per-view, I'm going to follow up on a lot of shit on the pay-per-view on this tour. So at the pay-per-view, Lady Lotus said that now that they have defeated, her and Maya defeated the termination, she is going to focus on getting her Triangle Championship back. And Zofia Yankovic essentially saying, you will never beat me. You will continue to lose. I didn't win this because of any help. I won this belt because I'm a better competitor than you. And Atsuko Ariyoshi saying that tonight might not have meant much. I didn't get the pinfall. You might have beat Thea Davis. She's talking to Miwako. You might have beat Thea Davis at the pay-per-view. But Green Lockdown is coming for that world title, Miwako. And when I get my chance to prove that I'm better than you, I'm gonna fucking take that title. At some point in this tour, at Reign Supreme, I will earn my world championship match if it's the last thing I do. And, yeah, heading into our main event, gets a 78 because the Birds of Prey are fucking incredible. Apex's Seiyu, Fuyuko, and Jemmy defeat Icon Idols Machiko, Yukiko, Hart, and Paige Croft. 22 minutes and 28 seconds. Fuyuko Higa pins Yukiko Matsumara. Jemmy, Higa, and Yu all with incredible performances. And Birds of Prey try to finish the show taunting over High Fly Royalty when they are jumped by Shiori Japensha, the Uprising, and Bulk and Blue. None of them were booked on a match tonight, but they were here to take out Birds of Prey and Apex altogether. I think they're on here. No, I forgot to put them on here. It's not just Birds of Prey. They also jumped Sei and Yu and didn't really give an explanation, but Best Ever making a surprise run-in to take out Apex to end the show. But we do, of course, have highlights from the post-show interviews. The first one being a promo from Rika Rina, who say, with the tag division now completely turned on its head, two of the biggest names in the company are now the tag team champions with Birds of Prey. The tag division and the tag title rankings are primed for realignment. They're primed for anyone to come in, and just the entire landscape of the tag division is ready to be changed. And when it changes, they're going to make sure that they are on top. So essentially, Rika Rina are calling their shot to make a push for the tag titles. And then we have Shiori giving an explanation as to why she showed up for no reason other than to lay out Apex. And it's simply, she's like, look, I've been watching. I saw what's been going on the last two tours. I saw what happened during the Dynamo tag. I saw what happened on the last pay-per-view. I'm seeing major cracks within Apex. I'm seeing a lot of infighting, and I'm seeing a prime opportunity for me to invade and destroy Apex. I'm going to be sending my 4 strongest soldiers, Selena, Talia, Connie, Kinye. I'm challenging any 4 members of Apex to a 4v4 at the pay-per-view, and I'm going to expose and destroy the group from the inside while I'm watching from afar. 53 rated, and that's the final promo on this first edition. Zofia Yankovic was used far too much on the show. Cry about it. She's going to keep doing that until she gets over, asshole. But a 76 to kick things off. Another $11,000 gate. Very good show and a very good start to the Reign Supreme Tour. Okay, tour day number 2 is upon us and is ready to be ran. Main eventing tonight, we got some Icon Idols, Chica's best ever main event. We have the Persian Queens and Wrestling Passion taking on the Uprising and Chibi Violence, as well as we will get Fuyuko Higa and Gemi Onishi's response to Shiori's challenge that she made on the last show. But before any of that, of course, we do have our Young Lion matches. First things first, we have Akira and Nozomi losing to the Wounded Warriors, 54 rated match, and then Monster Ishimura defeating Ayano Kadawaka in a 52 rated match. So that is, of course, kicking off the show. And then in the first non-Young Lion match, we see the team of Gemi Onishi, Sei Akutagawa, and Sayuri Honda defeat the team of Bulk and Blue and Kiyomi Mizuka. A little preview. We have 2 kind of preview matches going into this 4v4 where Apex is yet to announce who is on their team. But in this match, Sei Akutagawa gets the victory in 12:49, pinning Connie Morris, getting the victory for Apex. Following that, we have a 3v3 between Chicas Locas and Green Lockdown down to the mat, and Lady Lotus defeat the team of Maki Yoshifumi, Thea Davis, and Zofia Yankovic. The match ends very abruptly, as it only goes 11 minutes and 23 seconds when the current threat, I guess, to Zofia Yankovic's Triangle Championship, Lady Lotus, gets the inside cradle, the surprise inside cradle on Zofia Yankovic, gets the victory, and a shocking upset on the current Triangle Champion. And Lady Lotus kind of taunts the Rose Queens after, like, hey, now we're even. Zofia, you talked a lot of shit last time when you guys won. Now I've won. We're even. I am still a threat to your Triangle Championship no matter what you say. 57 for this match. We then have We then have another trios match between Green Lockdown and Apex this time, as Chieko Kita and Determination take on Higa, Yu, and Romy. And of course, Apex going over once more as Fuyuko Higa pins Chieko Kita with the Higa Green Driver. Yu and Fuyuko fucking really, really good, guys. They're very good. And they get the victory, 77 for this match. And then our main event, 72. Hard to beat the Birds of Prey. I don't know why I thought they could, but I really thought they had it. But the Icon Idols, the Persian Queens, and Wrestling Passion defeat the team of Chibi Violence and the Uprising. 72 rated match. Really stacked main event, in my eyes at least. And after the main event, Heart Saito and Paige Croft essentially are like, look, this month, our girls, High Fly Royalty, they're challenging for the tag titles, and we think they're going to win. But regardless, we are some of the most underrated and quietly dominant tag. We had the most quietly underrated and dominant tag title reign in quite some time, and everybody in the locker room is sorely mistaken if they think that we're going to go away from the tag division to recuperate or regain our footing. We have our footing. We're still on the gas. We just hit a roadblock, but now in soon enough, before long, we will get those tag titles back. 63 for Wrestling Passion. That is how we end the main show, but of course, we have some developments after the show, as Fuyuko Higa brings Romy, Sei, Sayuri, and Yu in, like I like to call, the problem children, as Romy and Sayuri have a lot of animosity. Sei and Yu have had a lot of animosity. They were supposed to get all of that out at the pay-per-view, and that's what Fuyuko Higa says. She's like, I meant what I said. You had Final Attack to get your shit out of your system, to squash any beefs with your fists, okay? And so far, so good. I've seen and heard nothing. However, there is one true final test that we can do. And that is, Shiori Japensa has challenged us, said that we're weak, that we're falling apart because of you four. She thinks that we are ripe for the picking, and I want you all to prove to her that we are not ripe for the picking, and for you to prove to me that there is no bad blood left over. So you four will be the ones representing Apex at the pay-per-view. And they all accept, but it's not like they're joyous or anything. They keep their emotions very quiet. We don't really know what they're thinking, these four. But yes, that is the 4v4. Bulk and Blue in the Uprising versus Romy, Sei, Sayuri, and Yu. After that, we have Megumi and Yuma, who essentially say, tonight, we beat up 4 members of Best Ever. And until Shiori Japensha acknowledges what she did to Megumi, what she's done, and in challenging the Icon Idols without saying it, we will continue to beat up on her group until she faces us like a man. Weird phrasing, Megumi, but, I didn't cut the promo. We then have Monster Ishimura kind of taking the piss out of Maki Yoshifumi. Like, hey, Maki talked a lot of shit on that last pay-per-view to me, and then she goes out there and loses to Lady Lotus and down to the mat. I mean, they're good competitors, don't get me wrong, but fuck, that's pretty embarrassing after saying you could beat me up in a fucking one-on-one. So, 48 for that. And then the final angle we have, Wrestling Passion are confronted by the Termination, who say, they mentioned that they never got their even 2-on-2 tag team title match during Wrestling Passion's entire reign. They had one shot in a 4-way at Joshi Mania, but they never got a 2-on-2 match against Wrestling Passion, and they say that their reign was not only not quietly dominant, it was not dominant because they never beat them. That Wrestling Passion never beat the Termination, and if they want to challenge for the tag team titles again, then they're going to have to go through the Termination. 45 for that, and that is how we end the show. 74 overall rating. Really good stuff. $11,000 gate. Yeah, storylines are picking up. We've got 2 matches set for Reign Supreme now. Let's get into Tour Day number 3. And it is time for Tour Day number 3 of the Reign Supreme Tour. We've got 3 more shows, including this one, left in 2023. We're inching ever closer to 2024. Fuyuko Higa, Wrestler of the Year. Miwako Katsukawa, Women's Wrestler of the Year. Let's go for it. But yeah, kicking tonight's show off, we have Chibi Violence in the first Young Lion match against Ai and Ayano. And the second Young Lion match, we saw Sayuri Honda. I had a shitty creative finish. I thought maybe use it. Why not? And yeah, she beats Nozomi 42 for this one. The first non-Young Lion match we have is the team of Maki Yoshifumi and Zofia Yankovic versus Lady Lotus and Monster Ishimura. And this was a complete storytelling match as, yeah, I intentionally tanked the rating, but I wanted to get the story over. It was a weird team up with Lady and Monster. However, the match just, after 12 minutes, devolves into complete chaos when all 4 girls spill to the outside. Zofia and Lady Lotus continue to brawl until they're counted out, and Monster and Maki Yoshifumi do the same. Both of these teams, or, Zofia and Lady hate each other, Monster and Maki hate each other. There was no way that this match was going to be able to get underway and be held in a proper contest. But after that, the crowd is still hot, so how bad did I actually do? After that, we get an actual match. As a 76 rated match sees Shiori Japensha and the Uprising defeat the team of Romy Sei and Yu Hashimoto in 18 minutes and 53 seconds. We made up for that last match that the fans hated by a long shot. So, Romy Yamato is the weak link, and she still got a 52, so how much of a weak link was she? But yeah, the story of this match is that even though there's no visible and outward, visible and noticeable cracks within Apex, they just are not working as well as a team on Best Ever. And when I mean there's no visual cracks, I mean, like, you can't see, like, bickering or fighting. There's no, like, obvious communication breakdowns. There's just like an overlying lack of teamwork on the Apex side, leading to a very easy Shiori and Uprising victory. And after the match, Romy, Sei, and Yu, they look to start some bullshit, but Sayuri Honda eventually runs in from the back to calm them down, and the 4 girls leave together in defeat. But then Shiori and the Uprising are then jumped by Eri Sato, Megumi Nakajima, and Yuma Maruya. Very similar to how Shiori and Bulk and Blue jumped Megumi Nakajima during the last pay-per-view, Shiori, Eri, and Yuma pull a page out of Shiori's own book and fucking jump best ever and leave. Yuma and Megumi said until Shiori acknowledged her that they would continue to bring the fight to best ever, and this is what they meant. They continue to bring the fight to best ever. After that, we have a 69 rated main event that sees Chicas Locas, Miwako, Maya, Rika, and Rina taking on Unstoppable Toku, Chieko, and Etsuko, and another victory for Green Lockdown here. Match goes 21 minutes and 40 seconds. Etsuko Ariyoshi submits Maya with the Ariyoshi Lockdown, and Etsuko makes sure that Miwako knows that she's not letting up. She says, I want that title match. I'm going to earn it at the pay-per-view. This is the second match my faction has beaten you in on this tour so far. So how about this? Team Sub, we had a very humiliating loss to Kitten Tornado on the last pay-per-view. How about we prove that Team Sub still has what it takes to be a top force in this tag division, and I prove that I'm World Championship worthy when we take on you two at the pay-per-view in a tag match. And Miwako says, you know what? You're on. If you win, I'll give you that title match. However, I still don't think that when push comes to shove, when the lights are the brightest, you have what it takes, Etsuko. I want proof that you're willing to risk something close to you to prove that you mean business, that you truly have the heart of a champion. How about this? If you win, you get that title match. But if I win, if me or Maya win that match, then Team Sub must retire from tag team competition. The team, you said it yourself, maybe you guys don't have it anymore. And I think if you lose to a team that doesn't team up all the time, then I think that's proof that you can't hang in the tag division anymore, and Team Sub has to retire. And after talking it over amongst themselves in a little huddle, Etsuko and Chieko accept, and they say that they are more than confident that they will take down Maya and Miwako. So it's official. We've got a fucking huge wager match, semi-main eventing the pay-per-view. Etsuko might get a championship match, but she might also retire the Team Sub group forever. And that's how we end the main show, but we do, of course, have some post-show stuff where Maki Yoshifumi is trying to cut an interview. Monster Ishimura runs in. They continue to brawl. Devil Karubi eventually gets them to stop fighting and books a match between these two for the pay-per-view. If they want to settle their score, then they got to do it at the pay-per-view. One-on-one, Maki versus Monster. And we then have last angle. Shiori confronts Meguma, Eri, and Yuma, essentially like, what the fuck was that? Megumi's like, we're just doing the same shit that you do. You continue to ignore us. First two shows, we called you out. You ignored us. So we did exactly what you do when you want attention. We jumped you. You are not getting out of this. You tried to make a fool out of me at the pay-per-view. I'm not letting it happen. So you gotta meet our demands. And Shiori's like, fine. What do you want? And Megumi responds, I want a match against you at the pay-per-view, but I want to make sure that it's an even match. You jumped me 3-on-1 at the last pay-per-view, so at this new one, like I said, I'm bringing back up, and she points to Yuma and Eri, I want a 3-on-3. And Shiori accepts, and then realizes to herself that, oh shit, her hired guns, her number twos, her bodyguards, Selena and Talia, are already booked for the pay-per-view, so she's got to figure out who she's going to team with. And that's how we end the overall show. 70 rated show. Romy Yamato was slightly overused. I don't care. She's good. 11,000. Oh, almost 12,000. We're getting close to 12,000. We might hit it soon. Shooter Sean Dealey's in US Pro. This is a fucking horrifying timeline for anybody but USPW. But if you're a huge USPW fan, or if you're a huge Joshi fan, you really love this timeline. But let's get into tour day number 4. halfway point of the Reign Supreme Tour is upon us. Main eventing tonight's show, I totally remember the match. The main event tonight is, of course, High Fly Royalty and Yuma Maruya versus Fuyuko Higa, Yu Hashimoto, and Sei Akutagawa. I totally wasn't talking to the chat and completely forgot what my main event was. But there's matches before the main event. And opening the show, we are going to have some Young Lion matches. First things first, Shiori Japensha in a Young Lion match teaming with Kiyomi Mizuka. Shiori needs to find herself 2 tag partners for this 3v3 against Megumi Nakajima, so she's trying out alongside Kiyomi Mizuka to see how it goes, and it goes. Shiori definitely not impressed with Kiyomi Mizuka, despite getting the victory here tonight, 55. And Eri Sato and Aikira don't click. Oh well. 55 for Eri Sato and Aikira. Our first non-Young Lion match sees the Wounded Warriors take on Venomous in a straight-up 2v2. Nami Genda with a fucking 62. Nami Genda with a 52 individual rating. Holy shit. Really good stuff from Venomous, but it is Wounded Warriors who get the victory with the Shell Shocker here. 12 minutes and 10 seconds, 62 rated match. Up next, we have a 3v3 between Chieko Kita and The Termination and Icon Idols Sakura Sada, Heart Saito, and Paige Croft. Match goes 12 minutes and 58 seconds when Toku Kijimuta gets the victory, pinning Paige Croft with a spear. Sakura Sada was the weak link. She got a 42, though. That's really good for Sakura Sada standards. Let's go Sakura Sada. The push is coming. 64 for the match overall. Heart Saito got a 71. Very good performance there. And then we go from one Green Lockdown win to another Green Lockdown Trios win as the team of Maki Yoshifumi, Thea Davis, and Zofia Yankovic defeat Monster Ishimura, Romy, and Sayuri. And the story is the same. Monster, Romy, and Sayuri forcing themselves to team up. They have had issues very recently, and it's once again the same story. There's no visible outward like blow-ups or anything. However, there is a huge lack of communication between Romy and Sayuri. They have no problem teaming when it's involving just them and Monster, but when it's just Romy and Sayuri, there's a lack of communication, and it costs them the match and allows Thea Davis to get the victory on Sayuri Honda with a flying elbow drop. 65 for that. Our semi-main sees the Quad Squad in action with another victory here, defeating the team of Bulk and Blue and Chibi Violence. Rina Kasahara gets the pin on Connie Morris with the spinning vac fist. Rika Rina, of course, at the beginning of the tour, making the, trying to, force themselves into the readjusting, constantly changing tag team title scene. However, they are confronted by the Wounded Warriors, who essentially say that they want to do the same thing. They can tell with their leaders, Birds of Prey, winning the tag titles, that the tag team division is primed to be flipped on its head and new challengers to come forward. However, they plan to make it an Apex monopoly. Birds of Prey at the top and Wounded Warriors right under them. And they say that they want to take on Rika Rina at the pay-per-view, and a winner truly gets to shoehorn their way into the tag team division. Rika Rina, of course, accept wanting to win their first challenge since calling their shot for being the future of the tag division, I guess. 53 for this angle. A 69, Machiko Matsuka gets chronic knee pain. That fucking sucks. Our main event gets a 69. It really got hampered by the injury. Fuck, I don't think they're main eventing anymore if she's got an injury. Oh well. But yeah, main event sees High Fly Royalty and Yuma Maruya pick up the victory over Fuyuko Higa, Sei, and Yu Hashimoto. 22-15, and guess what the story is? You guessed it. Apex could not communicate, allowing Machiko Matsuda to get the run-up Rana and the victory for the Icon Idols. And that's how we end the main show, but we do, of course, have some highlights from the interviews. The first one being Lady Lotus challenging the Rose Queens to a tag match at the pay-per-view, pretty much saying, look, our faction leaders Atsuko and Miwako are fighting each other in a tag match at the pay-per-view. Atsuko's trying to earn herself a title shot, by beating Miwako in a tag match at the pay-per-view. I say we do the same thing. I am confident that I could take down you two. You two are one of the toughest teams in this company. I think, give me Hoshiko Tagawa, give me the girls that beat you last time, earlier in the tour, and I will defeat the Rose Queens. And the Rose Queens straight up laugh and accept. They're like, look, we're happy you have confidence, but, like you said, we're one of the toughest teams here. You can get a title shot if you beat us, but you're not going to beat us. So yes, Lady Lotus and Hoshiko Tagawa, tag match for the pay-per-view. If Lady and Hoshiko win, Lady gets a triangle title shot. If not, I guess she's back of the line. Up next, we have Shiori Japensha. She has found herself her tag partners, and she is not happy about it. She mentions multiple times over that she will be picking Asami and Amiko. However, she is very, very much not happy about it. She would much rather be teaming with either her hired guns, Bulk and Blue, or her right-hand woman, the Uprising. But since they're both booked, she will settle for Asami Okubo, who embarrassed her during the Tag Grand Prix, and Amiko Miyoshi, who tried to ditch her during the Tag Grand Prix. Just constantly berating poor Chibi Violence here, as she accepts she's going to be teaming with him. And the final angle sees Unstoppable Tai and Toku Kijimura officially make a challenge for a tag match against Wrestling Passion at the pay-per-view. They say that they proved tonight that they're better, but unlike Wrestling Passion, they're not satisfied with an asterisk. They gotta win tonight on a tour show in a 3v3. Unlike Wrestling Passion, we will not accept that. Wrestling Passion will beat us in a 2v2v2v2 and say they're better than us. We, on the other hand, want to prove that we're better by beating them in a fair and square 2 versus 2 match at a big stage at the pay-per-view at Reign Supreme. And with that, that is the final match we have pre-booked. Here is the full card. We will, of course, do a bigger rundown right before the pay-per-view. This is not the full card because I, in fact, forgot to pre-book the termination in Wrestling Passion. Shit happens. Please don't kill me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, this is the full card now. 46 for the final angle, and the overall show gets a 71. The show benefited from a wide selection of angles. Damn! Fuck, sorry, I yelled there. Fuck! Alright. Well, I guess Miwako's main eventing. I'm sorry, tag fans. I really did want that to main event the pay-per-view, but it won't anymore. That's really upsetting. Alright, it is the final show of 2023. When we come back, we will come back with the year-end awards. However, we are not even done with the tour. But this is a monumental moment. 2 years. I think this is probably the longest save in-game wise that's been on this channel, which is kind of crazy. Considering I planned really far ahead in both of those SWF saves. Even though immediately the next game came out. So it's like, well, we're at the Supreme Challenge. But yeah, no, so this is now by far the longest in-game running save I have on the channel, so I'm very happy with how it's turning out. Main eventing the final show of 2023 will, in fact, be a 5v5 between Apex's Birds of Prey and Best Ever's Shiori and Chibi Violence versus High Fly Royalty, the Persian Queens, and Kitten Tornado. That is 2 teams with Yuma Maruya, so it is a 5v5. But before all of that, we have Machiko is injured. I know, that's right. We kick things off with Wrestling Passion in a Young Lions match, defeating Aikira and Nozomi Sumimasa. 60 overall. Paige and Hart are incredible still. And Hoshiko Tagawa was planned to be in a different match, but I swapped her out for Rika Rina. It'll make sense in about 2 seconds, but yes, Hoshiko Tagawa defeats Ayano Kodawaka in this match. Our opening match is a triangle trios match between Chicas Locas, Lady Lotus, and Rika Rina. Green Lockdowns, Rose Queens, and Makiyoshi Fumi. And Apex's Wounded Warriors and Monster Ishimura. Monster feuding with Maki, Wounded Warriors feuding with Rika Rina, Lady Lotus feuding with the Rose Queens. So we're getting a lot of previews in this match. However, only one team can win. It's not elimination. Ignore whatever it says. And the winner is, of course, Zofia Jankovic, because she will get over. She's awesome. Look at that. She got a 50. You know how hard it is to get a 50? She'll get over and she'll get momentum before you know it. The Triangle Champion walks out on top after this match. We then have a 2v2 previewing. We do have 2 of these previewing the 4v4 that will happen at the pay-per-view. This first match consisting of Romi Yamato and Sayuri Honda. And once again, tell me guys, what's the story? You already know. Romi and Sayuri couldn't get on the same page. They keep their emotions to themselves because they do not want Fuyuko Higa to fucking murder them. However, they cannot cooperate, and they lose to the Uprising in 13 minutes and 40 seconds, 66 overall match. But then we see the team of Yu Hashimoto and Sei Akutagawa finally get a victory here, as it wasn't impossible. Yes, they finished with the least amount of points in the not the entire Grand Prix, but in their block, in the purple block. Yu and Sei finished with the least amount of points, but they still were capable of winning, and we see that once again as the new All-Asian champion and the former All-Asian champion defeat Bulk and Blue in 14 minutes and 32 seconds, and then we get an angle where Sei Akutagawa was celebrating with that new All-Asian Championship, and Yu Hashimoto just keeping her eyes on that belt. Nothing happens, just Yu Hashimoto keeping her eyes on that belt that she got. 77 for that fucking angle. But our main event, 73 rated match, Icon Idols. Machiko Matsuda takes a fucking injury, and the team still wins the match. Match goes 14 minutes and 48 seconds when Megumi Nakajima pins Gemi Onishi with the Super Explosion Suplex, and the whole story is that Shiori Japencha spends the whole match trying to boss around Asami Okubo and Amiko Miyoshi, and it just goes horribly. Birds of Prey have to keep fucking going in and fixing their shit, and it's just a huge mess. It wears down Birds of Prey, allowing Megumi Nakajima to pin Gemi Onishi, causing Birds of Prey to get very fucking angry at Shiori Japencha after the match. And Shiori, like, don't look at me, it's the fucking these two. These two are the ones that are screwing us. Deflecting blame. Overall, just Shiori Japetti at it again to end the second year in this save. 59 for that angle. Overall show gets a 72. Very good stuff. Final Gate gets an $11,000, $500 62 gate. Making big money. What a turnaround we've done just in 2 years. But that concludes 2023, and when we come back, we will see the year-end awards. Okay, as you guys can see, we are here January 1st, 2024. I only saw who won Male Wrestler of the Year, and that was Gino Montero, surprisingly. Fingers are crossed. I mean, honestly, I think we're only hoping for, like, we probably can't win a Match of the Year. We might be able to win Show of the Year. I don't know. I don't know how good some of those did. I don't know how well. That 96 at Final Attack's going to hold up pretty well. But honestly, I'll be kind of upset if we don't win Female Independent Wrestler of the Year. But even if we don't win anything, as I was saying to the chat, that's the beauty of TEW9, is that even if we don't win any of the TEW.com awards, we still have the company-specific awards to look at. So, Female Wrestler of the Year, I called it. Brooke Tyler. Bullshit. Higa got robbed. Company of the Year CWA bullshit. Fuck you. Oh! Let's go! Let's fucking go! Tag champs, baby! The fucking tag champs! Oh, bang! Birds of Prey. Oh my god, fucking beautiful stuff. Match of the year went to Gino versus Huracan at Luchamania 11. I'm sure it got a 100. Show of the year. Bang! Bang! Fucking let's go! Oh! Fuck yeah! Miwako! Miwako! Let's fucking get it! Bang! Male Young Wrestler of the Year went to Huracan. Holy shit, Huracan's only 24 and he got a 100. Wow. Female Young Wrestler of the Year went to Jessica Conroy. Yep, naturally. Raw was the most improved company of the year. Okay. Male Independent went to Ernest, naturally. Female Independent? Let's fucking get it. 3. We got 3. Let's fucking go. We're not going to win managers, so male goes to Drake. Female goes to Laura Catherine Huggins. Play-by-play goes to Dwayne. Color commentator does not go to Emma Chase. It goes to Eduardo Prieto, who isn't even employed. Somebody fucking sign him. Female color commentator of the year went to it was fucking male. That's why Emma chased it. Female color commentator of the year still doesn't go to Emma Chase. Went to Emily McQueen. Male referee goes to Kingpin. What the fuck? Oh, that's not a part of his name. I thought his name was Kingpin Toshimichi Sumir. Oh man, I'm fucking bad with names the first time I see them. This guy's got 100 refereeing though. Aaron Lawrence, QAW Booker, or former QAW Booker, I think. Owner, maybe? I don't know the QAW fucking lore. But that's the overall fucking thing. Let's look at Psycho Circus. Let's stop looking at Psycho Circus. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. But the company-specific awards, I'm going to try to predict them as we go. I think we know who Wrestler of the Year is going to be. It's probably going to be Fuyuko Higa. I clicked on Inner Circle. It's Jemmy. Higa won the overall award, but Jemmy won the... Whoa. Okay. Female Tag Team of the Year is probably Bop. Yeah, Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey. Female Young. I'm gonna go with Amiko. Rena. Fuck, that's not helping. That's gonna only boost her ego. Female Veteran Yuma. Yeah, Yuma did it. Look at fucking, what a lineage. Jesus. Match of the year, I mean, we know, Miwako Thea Davis. We know. Card of the year, Joshi SummerSlam. Yeah, Final Attack. Play-by-play did not, it didn't fucking, did not go to Gomon. I've been dealing with this bullshit for what now? No winner. We have one. I don't know why it... Weird. I don't know. I don't know why it didn't go to anybody. Oh well. Male referee is, yep, Kazuko. I'm not gonna bother predicting these. Female referee, we don't have one. Alright. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, Fuyuko Higa wins Female Independent Wrestler of the Year, but Jemi Onishi wins Female Wrestler of the Year for the Company Award. Okay. Alright. That's okay. Alright. All I care about is this. This makes me so happy. Nobody can beat Joshi SummerSlam. We're in the golden age, baby. Damn, it feels good to be 5-star Supreme. But yeah, let's get back on track and go to the final tour show of this episode. It is time. Not only is it the first show of 2024, but it is the final show of the tours before the pay-per-view. Here's what we did last year. We are once again looking at last year's stuff now. Higa and Rika apparently had a masterclass. I did not look at this, but I've also pre-booked a similar match as Yuma Maruya, and I quote, the plan was Yuma Maruya and Amiko Miyoshi have a singles match because fuck it, why not? We're doing something fun. That is not the main event, though. The main event sees Birds of Prey and Monster Ishimura take on Shiori Japencha and the Uprising. Shiori and Birds of Prey got into a pretty heated confrontation at the end of the last tour show. Shiori blamed her then tag partners, Chibi Violence, for the loss. And she's come back with the Uprising to main event this show because Machiko's injured, so I wanted to keep her off the card. But yes, kicking off the first tour show of the year and the final tour show of Reign Supreme, we have Romy and Sei defeating Ai and Ayako, and the other Young Lion match seeing Hana Ajibana defeat Nozomi, getting a 51. Good way to start the the show. We then have a 75 rated match. A quick Chicas Locas versus Green Lockdown 4v4. Miwako Maya, Lady Lotus, and Hoshiko Tagawa do defeat the team of the Rose Queens and Team Sub. Beautiful fucking kickoff match. Miwako with a 70. Great way, but yes, Chicas Locas get the victory and get the momentum going into the pay-per-view. Not looking good for the future of Team Sub or the future of Zofia Jankovic's title reign. 75 for that. A 72 for the following match, where we see Megumi Nakajima teaming up with Wrestling Passion to take on Green Lockdown's Unstoppable Tide, Toku Kijimura, and Maki Yoshifumi. A callback to how their current feud started, as of course, at the last pay-per-view, Maki targeted Meg, and came out of that tag match, Maki targeting Monster and Meg targeting Shiori, but we get one final blow-off between these two as Meg teams up with Wrestling Passion, who will be taking on the Termination at the pay-per-view. Icon Idols get the victory here in 20 minutes and 4 seconds. Heart Saito pins Unstoppable Tai with the Flying Tiger knee. 72 rated match. Up next is that Amiko Miyoshi fuck it, this will be fun match, and of course it was fun, as Amiko Miyoshi takes Yuma Maruya to 20 minutes. And this is a close battle, a full-on 50-50. Amiko holds nothing back, surprises everybody in the audience, and surprises Yuma Maruya. And even though Yuma Maruya won, she makes sure to, after the match, grab a microphone and straight up say, look, Amiko, I might have beaten you tonight, and I'm going to beat you at the pay-per-view. However, you've proven to me and to this locker room and the people in attendance and the people at home that you have something special. Even though I hate your group and I hate your faction leader, you've got something special, and you've earned my respect tonight. Even if I don't respect your character or the people you surround with's character, I respect you as a competitor now. And yeah, Yuma Maruya putting over Amiko Miyoshi pretty strong. 64, perfect rating angle. And now it's time for our main event, getting an 81, because when in doubt, it might be a new year, but we still Birds of Prey it out, as the team of Fuyugo Higa, Jemi Onishi, and Monster Ishimura defeat the team of Shiori Japencha, Talia Quinzel, and Salinas Valette, getting an 81, finishing the show, proving that, in fact, Birds of Prey were not the problem with the tag match last show. But yeah, that's how we end the main show. We do have a couple of post-show highlights, as first off, Machiko and Yukiko address Machiko's injury. They say the rumors are true. She's bruised her knee. She won't be 100% going into that tag title match. But god damn it, she is not forfeiting that match. Under no circumstances is Machiko backing down. She doesn't want to give Birds of Prey a free pass for anything. We're gonna storm in to that tag title match with a half of a person missing, and we're still gonna win those fucking titles. 56, and then final angle, Shiori Japencha berates her stablemate for quote-unquote getting chummy with the enemy. How dare you get all friendly buddy with Yuma Maruya. Do you understand we're at war? They're the enemy. You cannot get chummy. And Amiko Miyoshi, yes, Shiori. Yes, Shiori. I'm sorry, Shiori. 53 for Shiori Japencha verbally berating Amiko Miyoshi. 82, holy shit. What a fucking way to kick off the year. Oh my god, 82. We made $11,500 once again, keeping that popularity growing. What a fucking kickoff to the year. But now it is time for our third edition of Reign Supreme in this series. It is time. First pay-per-view of 2024. We are here for 5SSW Reign Supreme once again. And we've got a stacked card for you. Opening the show, we have the team of Lady Lotus and Hashiko Tagawa of Chicas Locas versus the Rose Queens, where if the Chicas Locas girls can win, Lady Lotus will in fact get a title shot, a triangle title rematch that she lost last time she faced for it. After that, we are going to have the 4v4 between Apex's Romi Yamato, Sei Akutagawa, Sayuri Honda, and Yu Hashimoto versus Best Ever's Uprising and Bulk and Blue. Shiori trying to, break wide open the cracks that are being seen in Apex with her 4 toughest competitors in Best Ever. After that, we have Rika Rina and Wounded Warriors. Both of these teams feel that with Birds of Prey winning the tag titles, the tag team division is completely shifting and changing, and they want to push themselves and get themselves to the top of the division while shit is changing and shit is happening. So essentially a battle for dibs, I guess. I'm not sure how to put that. After that, we have Monster Ishimura versus Maki Yoshifumi. A grudge match. These two collided at Joshi SummerSlam, and there was some fallout afterwards. After Monster pinned Maki, Maki called the win a fluke, and if they ever met one-on-one, Maki would destroy her. So Maki gets that chance. After that, we have the Termination versus Wrestling Passion. Wrestling Passion saying that even though they lost the tag titles to Birds of Prey, they were one of the most underrated, overlooked, and underappreciated dominant tag teams of all time with those belts. And the Termination saying you can't call yourselves slept on or looked over if you were too scared to face us 2v2. So we're going to beat you and prevent you from ever getting those tag titles back. Next, we have Icon Idols versus Best Ever. Shiori laying out Megumi Nakajima with her brutes, her hired guns at the last pay-per-view. Yuma, Megumi, and Era then teamed up to essentially force Shiori's hand to make her face the actions of her consequences. When my actions have consequences. But already booking her 4 toughest teams in a match, Shiori is forced to team with the women that she berates all the time, Asami Okubo and Amiko Miyoshi. In our semi-main, originally supposed to be the main event before Machiko Matsuda's very, very unfortunate knee injury on the second to last tour show, on the last tour show of 2023. That is now semi-maining. High Fly Royalty, Birds of Prey, High Fly Royalty acknowledge that they're coming in half a man down, but they are not going to fight like 1.5 men. They're going to fight like 3 3/4 men, and fucking get these tag titles. But Birds of Prey are, of course, the scariest team you could possibly face, so who knows how well they will face. And then our main event, a lot on the line, as Team Sub takes on Miwako and Maya. Team Sub, if they win, Atsuka Ariyoshi will get herself a World Championship match. If Miwako and Maya win, Team Sub must retire from tag team competition. Team Sub teased the fact that after they lost to Kitten Tornado that maybe they aren't the best team in the world. Maybe their time has passed. And Miwako and Maya saying maybe it has. And maybe you should do the world a favor and retire if you lose. So Miwako and Maya are putting up something, and Team Sub are putting up something. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Kicking off the show. Right, it's the injury. Kicking off the show, we have the Rose Queens. Fuck. Shit, another injury. Goddamn. We have the Rose Queens. Zofia Yankovic and Thea Davis, one of the scariest teams you can face in the company, defeating Lady Lotus and Hoshiko Tagawa. Lady Lotus trying to pull shades of Atsuka Ariyoshi, trying to mimic what the faction leaders were doing, getting herself a title shot by winning a tag match at the pay-per-view, but it does not happen as the Rose Queens are able to get the victory, injuring Hoshiko Tagawa in the process. Very unfortunate. Oh my fucking... Come on, man. Come the fuck on. God damn it. She's never gonna get over. Fuck. Oh, I'm never gonna hear the end of this. And after the match, Zofia Yankovic stands over Lady Lotus, taunting her. Straight up, taunting her. You will never get this title back. I'm a bigger threat to this championship than you have ever been. Nobody can stop me. Nobody can stop the Rose Queens. Nobody can stop Green Lockdown, especially not you. 52 for that angle. Up next, the best ever. Bulk and Blue, Selena and Talia make quick work of Sayuri, Romy, Sei, and Yu, as the match only goes 12 minutes and 17 seconds, and the story of the tour was that these four just could not figure it out. They could not get on the same page, and it all comes to a head here. Just blatant miscommunication, blatant egoism at its finest. Romy and Sayuri never wanting to put the past aside, Sei and Yu not wanting to put the past aside. It is a disaster for these members of Apex, and best ever get the victory very easily. And after the match, all four women go face to face to face to face. They are all pissed at one another, and all it takes is just one of them to do something, as minor as it may be, to just set the whole thing off. But nobody does anything. They all know the consequences of being that person to set it off, or even being a person to reciprocate it. They keep it to themselves, but there might be irreparable, permanent damage done to these members of Apex. 59. Rika Rina versus the Wounded Warriors gets a nice 74. Hopefully, this gets the pay-per-view back on track. What a fucking beginning this has been so far. 74, Rika Rina and Wounded Warriors, proving that we have a very good and very deep tag division. You can put any of these two teams in a pay-per-view match, and they will provide. Match goes 16 minutes and 23 seconds when Rika Rina get the victory. Rina Kasahara pins Kaori Takanouchi with the Cruel Intentions. Very good match. Very good performance from Kaori. Oh my god, Kaori with a 67. Kaori and Chitose. I brought them in. I said it. I'm gonna try to push them. Maybe not super hard, but maybe they'll be a staple in the tag division, and god damn it, they are. They are a very reliable tag team to fall back on. I am very happy with Wounded Warriors. I am very happy with them. The following contest sees Monster Ishimura taking on Maki Yoshifumi. Match goes 20 minutes and 14 seconds, gets a 76, and Monster Ishimura gets the victory, defeating Maki Yoshifumi. This is the second pay-per-view in a row. Monster Ishimura hits the running butt avalanche and gets the victory over Maki Yoshifumi, proving that not only was it a fluke, but it wasn't even because it was a tag match. Monster is better than Maki, and she's proven that here tonight with a dominant victory in Reign Supreme. 76. In the following contest, 78, as the Termination finally gets their 2v2 match against Wrestling Passion, and it does not go as planned, as 20 minutes and 44 seconds, Heart Saito hits the Heart Stopper on Unstoppable Tai. I guess you could stop her. And the team of Wrestling Passion get the victory. Termination got exactly what they wanted, but yet, once again, Wrestling Passion, underrated, underappreciated, overlooked, get the victory over the Termination. And maybe, just maybe, before long, Wrestling Passion will get those tag team titles back. 78. Up next is the 3v3 between Icon Idols and Best Ever, and it gets an 85, first blue-rated match of the show in a bout that had superb wrestling and good heat. The Icon Idols, the big three, Eri Sato, Megumi Nakajima, Yuma Maruya, get the victory over Asami Okubo, Omiko Miyoshi, and Shiori Japensha. 21 minutes and 41 seconds when Megumi Nakajima gets her revenge, pinning Shiori Japensha with the Super Explosion Suplex, and gets the victory. What a good showing from Yuma and Megumi, of course, and Shiori. But Shiori takes the pin and then proceeds to blame her stablemates. She berates Chibi Violence once again. If you guys were half the wrestlers of the Uprising, you wouldn't have cost that match for us. You wouldn't have lost that match for us. Despite the fact that Shiori took the pin, she continues to publicly humiliate Asami and Amiko for not being the Uprising. In our semi-main, the 5 SSW tag team titles are up for grabs as High Fly Royalty coming in with a major disadvantage, and they still bring the fight. They still bring everything they have, but it's just not enough. Machiko Matsuka's injury is just too much for them to handle when after 21 minutes and 42 seconds, the 5 SSW Wrestler of the Year, Jemi Onishi, locks Machiko Matsuda in with a knee submission hold. I made sure to put submission. But in spite of the fact that Machiko was injured, they still have a very, very good match. 82 overall rating. And, yeah, Birds of Prey retain their championships. They are not transitional champions, believe it or not. I thought about it. But, no. High Fly Royalty, the rubber match. Who knows if this will be the actual rubber match? Maybe I'll run it back when Machiko Matsuda is fully healed. But now it is time for our main event. A lot on the line here, of course, as I've said. If Team Sub win, Etsuko Ariyoshi gets herself a world title match at the one-shot pay-per-view. But if if Miwako and Maya get the victory, then Team Sub must retire from in-ring competition. And in an 83 rated match because the creative finish was a failure. Damn, that's upsetting because in a match that should have been generationally amazing, after 25 minutes and 43 seconds, Miwako Katsukawa and Maya defeat Team Sub and force them into retirement. Or tag team retirement. Not full retirement. Just tag team retirement. Miwako and Maya beat Team Sub. Third pay-per-view in a row Team Sub loses. And the last pay-per-view that they will ever wrestle as a tag team. Not only does Atsuko not get her world title shot, she loses her tag team. And after the match, we get an angle where Atsuko in defeat, vows to make Miwako pay. She says, this isn't over. I'll be back. We'll be back. You will pay for killing off the greatest team that this company is to offer. You will pay. This might be over tonight, but mark my words, before the end of the year, I will take everything from you. And Team Sub leave, and Miwako and Maya begin to celebrate. When out of nowhere, they are jumped by Monster Ishimura. Monster Ishimura comes in, lays out Miwako and Maya, grabs a microphone and says, I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of sitting in the background of Fuyuko Higa and Jemi Onishi. I've proven over the past couple months, I have proven that I am a main event caliber champion. I've ever since Maya beat me for that All-Asian Championship, my career has been in a spiral, but I have finally figured it out. I've beaten Maki Yoshifumi. I've beaten Shiori Japensha. I'm on a fucking roll. I'm unstoppable. And now that Miwako has nobody to face at One Shot, why not have the unstoppable monster take Miwako's title? Get ready, Miwako, because your reign is coming to an end. 69, Monster Ishimura makes the challenge. 84 overall rating. Really upsetting finish. I'm so fucking mad. I'm pretty salty. That would have been generational. That really would have been. But hey, creative finish flopped, and we still got an 83. Goes to show you how great this fucking roster is. But yeah, overall, let's address the locker room. Naturally, Fuyuko Higa is awesome. I think we should give it to Yuma. And, no, you know what? Let's do Romy and Kinye. And, of course, Zofia Yankovic, actually. 19 days. Oh, I'm going to have to keep her out of the one shot, too. That's a shame. Holy fuck. Alright, base. Nah, it was worth it. We're close. We're almost at medium. We are almost at medium. Yeah. But yeah, I am, I'm still pleased with how that went down. Team Sub, of course, now retired. So, who knows what's gonna happen there. Who knows how that progresses. But yeah, if you guys are a little upset, and I can see the chat's a little upset. If you guys are a little upset with Monster Ishimura getting the title, think of it like this. I need a non-main eventer. I need somebody not good, if that makes any sense. Because the one-shot tournament finals are going to main event the show. So, Monster Ishimura is actually the perfect challenger because her and Miwako aren't main eventing. It will be the one-shot tournament finals, and that will be a fucking great match. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this edition of 5 Star Supreme Wrestling. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all are excited for 5SSW's second ever one-shot tournament where the winner will get a title shot at, of course, I totally remember the Big Crush. See you for episode 26.